Welcome to the Sovereign Teacher. Today, it's bouncing a little, it's my table. Today is Tarot Tuesday, but before we start Tarot Tuesday, I just want to explain sovereignty to you a little bit more, so you know what a sovereign person looks like, and talk about co-creation. So I'm going to give you the three, what did I call them? The three markers of sovereignty. Okay, so the first one, I just randomly labeled this as the first one, is conscious creating. So the sovereign person takes radical responsibility for their choices, emotions, and patterns. They recognize their projections, triggers, and relational dynamics. And they choose responses intentionally rather than reacting from old wounds. So part of that today is we're going to set an intention for our day, but I'm going to connect that to Joe Dispenza's conscious creating video. It's not called that, but I'm going to connect that to his work after I go through the markers. So the second marker is yourself is the source of your own safety and love. So the sovereign person comes home to their self first. And when I say comes home to themselves, they kind of reconnect with themselves throughout the day consciously. And there's any number of ways that you can do that. Just sitting in silence, meditation, just constantly checking in with yourself. What's going on with my body? How am I feeling? Being aware of your thoughts. Okay. They meet their own emotional needs without abandoning themselves. They listen, soothe, nurture, and parent their inner parts. In Internal Family Systems, which is a model for therapy, they talk about having all these different parts of yourself and being aware of them so you can care for them. And I'm just going to make it really simple. You have protector parts that kind of fight for you and your boundaries. And then you have these wounded children that you didn't know how to meet their needs, so you kind of shove them into the basement or the unconscious, and they come out and sometimes they have temper tantrums and take over. So the idea is when one of these parts comes up my model is acknowledge, validate, and care for, the AVCs. Acknowledge whatever's coming up, validate it. Of course you feel this way. This is what you're thinking, or this has been your experience. And then care for, what do you need right now? Maybe it's just breathing and holding that space. Maybe you need to take a walk to get some energy out, to let something out of your body. Maybe you need to take a shower to just kind of feel the water cleansing you, cleansing your mind, cleansing your body. Maybe you need to have a drink of tea or water. It could be any number of things that you need, but just listening to your body and your spirit and finding out what you need and caring for it. And then the sovereign person stays grounded in their own worth, even when others withdraw or disapprove. So what I noticed as somebody who was in a toxic relationship and kind of grew up that way, I was the scapegoat, and I was the peacekeeper, and so I learned to violate my own boundaries and abandon myself in order to keep the system calm. So now what I have learned in letting go of those types of relationships and getting a divorce, I've learned how to be discerning about who can receive my love and give love back to me, and who's just like a rock in the river that I need to just flow around, and not waste my energy or time on. And what I noticed is there's people in my life that tried to control me in order to get me to meet their needs. And a lot of times it was meeting their emotional needs. And now I can see it right away, and I'm just like, flow on by. Okay. So, and then they can desire and receive connection and affection without needing to feel whole. And again, I want to go back to the internal family systems model created by Richard Schwartz, because he wrote a book for couples called You Are the Person That You're Looking For, or something like that. You're the one, you are the one that you're looking for, something like that. But what it was all about was you have to be able to meet your own needs before you can ask for care from another person. Because if you don't even know how to meet your own needs, you're going to be very frustrated when they're trying to meet your needs and they don't know how to meet them either. If you don't know how to meet them, how can you teach them how to care for you? So, and then you're very dysregulated and they're feeling that dysregulation and that frantic energy, and that just repels them. So in order for you to ask for care from another person and be in relationship, you have to be able to understand your own needs and care for them, to calm yourself down and to be able to ask for what you need. So that's that part of it. And number 3, having clear boundaries and an open heart. So a sovereign person can love you without losing themselves. A sovereign person speaks their truth clearly, directly. They don't over-explain or collapse. They allow others to have their own experiences without trying to control or fix them. And they can recognize when somebody cannot meet their needs and they flow on by. They're just a rock in the river. They can hold their boundaries without guilt or punishment. They can be compassionate towards the other person, recognizing that that person cannot meet their needs. And they can stay open, connected, and compassionate without self-abandonment. So you take responsibility for your life, you become your own home, and you relate without losing yourself. That is what sovereignty means. And there are many different areas of your life that you can be sovereign in, but once you figure out how to be sovereign, it just translates to all those different areas, like money, your job, your relationships, your children. Once you learn all of that, it translates to every area and flows out. So I just wanted to explain a little bit about what I mean when I say a sovereignty. And now we can start our tarot card reading. Okay. Oh wait, I was gonna just tell you about the Joe Dispenza video and co-creating, because this will lead into the tarot card reading. Because I like tarot for creating, for seeing what energies we're working with, what's going on in our unconscious, and how we can align all of our parts together and have one singular intention so we get what we want. So this is what a video about that Joe Dispenza is talking about. So he says, your thoughts send the signal out to the world of what you want. That's your intention. Your feelings are the magnet that attracts it back to you. And your energy field expanding creates a bigger effect. So there's a part where he talks about being solid matter and being more energy and spirit, and that part I'm not sure I have total understanding of yet, so I'm not going to focus on that, but I will come back to it. And he said, you want to be detached from the outcome, commit fully to your intention, but release control of the results. All possibilities exist in the present moment. So when you're matter trying to control matter, you're forcing it. But when you recognize your spirit and your mind are part of this equation, I think that's it. That's what I'm looking for. Then you can use that energy to create. I have another example of that this morning. I have a great example of that. Okay. So I was worried about money and where to put my money, where it would be safe. And I kept thinking about it and kind of perseverating on it. And then asked myself, why do I not feel safe? And there were a number of reasons why I didn't feel safe. One, like the internet, people are always getting hacked. And 2, I've actually had my money stolen by my partner, which I shouldn't probably say in this video, but I mean, I've had, yes, there's been some deception around money in my past relationship. There, it comes from my past experience and reality right now, like if you look at that. So what ended up coming in was Spirit came in and was like, you're focusing on the wrong things. That is not what's real. The energy is what's real. And the energy is what creates the matter. So just allow me to show you what is real. That's the message that I got from Spirit. And then I had a visualization of just energy rushing in. And like the floodgates had opened, and it was just coming in. Because I wasn't focused on the blocks of fear that was keeping it from coming in. And just giving the message, don't worry about that. I will show you what's real. So back to the video. Open hearts sustain elevated emotion, more energy, then you become more energy than matter, and you can create, because you're creating with energy, with intention, and you're attracting with emotion. And you can exert better effects on matter if you're using energy, not matter. So when I'm focused on money as a physical thing and I'm trying to control that, I can't do that with my thought. I can't do that. But when I'm focused on the energy, I have more effect. It's like a ripple. You keep dropping the same broadcast or intention into the pool or the ocean, and it spreads, and then it will come back to you. So clear intention with elevated emotion is how we create, and it influences every atom in your life. So the part where we block it is, we block it with feeling like we're punished for our sins. We're not punished for our sins, we're punished by our sins because we are blocking the energy. And then the other thing that I asked, so where you place your energy or attention is where you place your energy, and you place it in the present moment. You have the ability to create wonderful experiences. Unless you block them with thoughts of sin, because those are just blocks. They're rocks in the river. So you want to try to clear that so that you can consciously create. And I'm a little distracted right now because my dogs are here getting into trouble. Mose, what are you eating? Okay. All right, now we're going to get back into the reading. Go play with a stick. Or a ball. You want to come say hi? Come say hi. Come here. No, Mose. Now you're eating leaves. Come on up. This is Mosey. Mosey's my new little puppy. Say hi, Mosey. Mosey. Oh, you're a good girl. Looney, you want to say hi? Okay, Mose. Looney, you want to come say hi? Come say hi. Okay. She doesn't jump like the little puppy. You guys want attention, right? Okay, after I finish, we're going to go for a walk with Marcos. Does that sound good? We're going to go for a hike. Okay, so what intentions do you want to set? And in order to consciously create, we want to ask good questions from God or the universe or our higher self, or however you think about it, spirit. So first I'm going to say, what intentions do you want to set? And we can set intentions for the day. We can set intentions for the year. We can set intentions for our life. So today, the intention that I want to set is How can I see? Oh, I actually wrote it down today. What can I learn today about my true self? How can I meet today with my highest self? What adventures are waiting for me? How much joy can I stand? And how can I be happier? In A Course in Miracles, one of the premises is that we don't really know what we want. And I agree, because we think that we want money, we think we want a new car, we think we want, but we really want what's behind that, like freedom, joy, connection. And so sometimes when we get it, we don't recognize it because we're looking for something specific. Okay, so for our cards from the Divine Beloved, we got generosity. I am abundant love. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who can easily send blessings to all, even those filled with negativity or fear. May I shower the planet with love, knowing there is an unlimited ocean within me. And I'm going to use that actually for the question for the tarot, which is, what rocks are still in my river? You may want to bring a journal to my readings, so then you can just write down anything that you hear from Spirit and questions that you might have and intentions for the conscious creating. Okay. So we got the Knight of Swords. That was the last card that came out. First we got the Four of Swords, which is rest and relaxation. Then we got the Three of Pentacles, which is teamwork. We got the Wheel of Fortune. We got the Seven of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Swords. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm getting from this reading. The rocks that are in our river are, we may need to still rest and integrate some of our experiences. And we may also need to rest. I've been getting this message from other places too. We may need to rest because we are going to be creating the things that we've been asking for are coming to us, and we're going to be in a period of creation. But before that period of creation, we need to rest and come into stillness, allow our body to let go of anything it doesn't need, and replenish. So that's what this card is saying. And that we are going to be meeting people, that we're going to be connecting with people that we're going to be working with, and connecting with people that want to create what we want to create. So we can become more clear about what we want to create, so that we can attract the people that we want. And the wheel is turning in the direction that we want it to. That's the Wheel of Fortune. The Seven of Swords. One of the rocks is that we have had people in our life who have well, no, I want to get the reading for that, because some of what I'm saying could be coming from my head, and I don't want it to come from my head. I want it to come from my spirit. But yeah, that's what it is. So there has been deception or betrayal. But also we've deceived ourselves. Mose, come here. We've deceived ourselves because I'm going to relate to people that are therapists or healers. A lot of us were giving in order to receive. We weren't given what we needed. We didn't know this. It was unconscious, but we didn't get our needs met when we were children. We took care of everybody else. And then we thought if we took care of everybody else, that they would meet our needs. and they would love us, and they would give us the attention that we needed, and they would value us. But that's not what happened. And so we have to recognize that in order to get our needs met, we have to be able to meet them ourselves, and then take responsibility for that, and then ask for the care that we want to receive from people, from the universe, from life. We have to be able to ask for that from a very grounded and centered place, and a worthy and deserving place. So that we deceived ourselves and we were deceived. So we can be clear about what we want and what we feel we deserve, and we can ask for it. And then the Hierophant is all of those things that people told us about what we should be or who we should be. So removing those obstacles of like, you should do this, you should be that, and learning to listen to yourself. And I do want to see if there's anything else there for the Hierophant. Any other message? Okay, yeah, let's just recite the affirmation. I am my own guru, and the guidance I need is rooted in my faith, my belief, and my unique essence. And then what is the Knight of Swords trying to tell us? Again, I'm only going to read this because I'm in my head a little bit thinking of, I know what it is, so I want to just make sure. So this is really about trusting ourselves and moving forward with our own truth. And you can do the affirmation for that one too. I make intelligent decisions, and I make intelligent and wise decisions about my future. Okay, so that is the tarot card reading for today, and how we can consciously create. And so it is, and so you remember. So I don't teach sovereignty, because you are sovereign. What I'm teaching is spiritual integration, which is how to recognize your sovereignty and claim it.